concentrating, those three factors kind of coming together and absorbing and losing, you know, you're only aware of that one essence. The details no longer matter. Now, having said all that, that ties up the 8 limbs of yoga. So thanks for sticking with me for the last gazillion weeks as we go through all of that. Today, as we are nearing the end of February and moving into March, which is always synonymous with daffodils and spring, and we're going to use a block, just one block today, if you've got it. And the theme of the class is twist and sprout. Isn't that clever? Yeah, I thought so. So start on your backs, please. You can set your block over to the left side of your sticky mat. We'll come to it in a moment. I want you to get down onto the floor on your back and start with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. Let your arms rest wherever it's comfortable for your arms to rest. That might be out, or maybe hands on your belly. Then let yourself get situated. Let yourself just drop in. And give yourself a deeper breath. And maybe exhale from your mouth if that feels comfortable. At the bottom of that exhale, really push the air out. Maybe even engage your belly a little bit as you do so. And then maybe 2 more breaths just like that, just deeper on the in-breath. Using this brief moment in time as a transition from the previous minutes, moments, or hours of your day, bringing yourself into the present moment of taking care of your body, mind, spirit on your mat. You've made this appointment with yourself. So we'll give it its due attention. And allow your breath to settle into its own rhythm, its own respiratory rhythm, its own rate. And today's practice will be about kind of churning the soil, making the soil appropriate for sprouting into spring. Setting our foundation or churning the soil for new growth, maybe new ideas, new vision. Great. So bend your knees for me if they're not, and set your feet to the floor. Take your feet at least as wide as your mat, if not a little wider. And with your arms out like a T, or maybe elbows bent into the cactus shape. Follow your breath. When you breathe in, take your knees to the left. Just do some windshield wipers. And when you breathe out, come back up to center. And let the inhalation take your knees over to the right. So it supports that extension through your spine, that lift of your low back. And as you exhale, come back through center, and then keep going a few more times from side to side. If you want to bring your cervical spine into the rotation, you turn your head away from your knees. That's optional. And the next time that your knees land at the left, I'm going to have you stay there for a few breaths. Reach your right arm up on the diagonal and open up your palm quite wide. Open up the webbing between your fingers. Drop your bottom teeth away from your top teeth. Good. Come back up through center, please. You'll take your knees over to the right. And again, we'll stay there for a few breaths. We're just going to start out slow and steady. Gently tilling the land. And stretch your left arm up on the diagonal. Spread the fascia of your left palm. Really, really open it up. Spread your fingers wide. Press your fingernails into the floor. Maybe even lift your wrist up away from the floor a little bit. Great. Come back up through center, please. And then just give yourself one more rock from side to side, left and right, without holding. Just to free up any resistant tissues or prana. Nice. And as you come through center, you'll heel toe your feet towards one another. And I'm going to have you roll over to your left side and see that your block is on the left side of your mat, about hip level, or just on the floor rather. We're going to come to the block in a moment, but I just want it to be on standby. So lying on your left side, I'm going to have you bend your left elbow and rest your head in your left hand. Bend your knees and stack your knees, please. And then bring your right hand behind your head and gently clasp your fingers together. Draw your elbows towards one another. So we're going to do open book or supine twist with our arms like a butterfly. The inhalation, you'll sweep your right elbow up and back. And as you exhale, you'll sweep your right elbow up and over. Bring it towards your left elbow. And this whole time, keep going. We'll do this a bunch more. And this whole time, I want you to really relax your neck and your head. So your head is just kind of along for the ride. It's completely cradled in the hands, maybe even kind of cradled between the forearms to a degree. Yeah, great. Good. Good. Bruce, you might hike your knees up a little higher. Yeah, good. Great. And how about the next time that you open your wings, taking your right elbow back, just stay put for a few breaths. Take a little inventory of how this feels through your right shoulder, right ribs, low back and hip. Nice. And come back to neutral, please. Drawing your elbows, your right elbow towards your left elbow. Just close your book, close your wings. Great. I'm going to have you keep your head resting in your left hand. And now release your right hand and begin to slide your left leg down the length of your mat. And then slide your block underneath your right knee. Okay, so your right knee remains bent. It's resting on your block. Left leg is long. Good. And now you can sweep your right arm back behind you, coming into a kind of a classic supine twist. But I want to give you another option to experiment with. This is door number 1. And you can also bend your left knee, that's your bottom knee, kick your left heel up towards your bum, reach down for your foot with your right hand, or maybe just grab a pant leg. That's legal. And then here we are in what I think the yin tradition calls cat's tail. Not really sure, but it's just a pretty fun bound up twist. But now while you're here, whichever version you're taking, but particularly if you're grabbing your foot, I want you to hone in on your lower back. Notice, especially if you're a bit more bendy, the temptation to really exaggerate the lumbar curve. So I want you to tone up your belly a little, draw your navel in towards your spine. Boy, Cindy, your dog is on point. And those of you who are grabbing your foot, I want you to take the outer edge of your foot so that there is an external rotation through your right shoulder. Yeah, great. And let's just stay for another 1 or 2 breaths. Good. Great. Now, without being a slingshot, if you've got your foot, let go and slowly let your bottom leg unpack, kind of like it's just kind of sprouting, beginning to sprout out of your pelvis. Ooh, good. And then come onto your back, and let's take a hot second on our backs just to let everything kind of reorganize itself. Organs, tissues, t-shirts, just. All right. We're going to do those same 2 shapes now on the other side. So bring your block with you, bring your block over to the right side of your sticky mat, have it on standby just off the edge of your mat, and then both knees bend. Cradle your head in your hands with your elbows bent. And reaching your left elbow towards your right elbow. When you inhale, open your left elbow up and back. Just go when you're ready. Oh, and right out of the gate, notice the difference between the 2 sides. I'm half tempted to unmute you all to hear that. Oh, that was my experience anyway this morning. It was like, woo, oh my goodness. Right, take your time. Use this as an exploratory time in your practice. A gentle reminder to let your head simply move along for the ride. Let it roll in your hands, so no strain on your neck, ideally. Good. And the next time that your left elbow opens to the left, let's hit the pause button there. Good. And how's this side different from the previous side? Shear your outer left hip away from your ribs, away from your left arm. Good. Toggle your mandible back and forth a couple times. Very nice. And then close your wings, bringing your left elbow over to meet your right. Give yourself a breath before you transition. And then when you're ready, you'll slide your bottom leg. That's your right leg. Take it all the way down the length of your mat. And I like to take it back just a little bit. So I really feel as though I'm on the IT band. I really want you on the outer thigh and the outer hip. Slide your block underneath your left knee. You can go on any height you want. And you'll sweep your left arm back behind you and either stay put, just exploring how your body responds to that twist, or bend your bottom knee, kick your foot up, reach down there for your foot or your pant leg. And again, I want to invite you to take the outer edge of your foot so that you're experiencing an external rotation in your left shoulder. Yeah, great. Good. I trust you all to listen deeply to your knees and heed the responses. If there's any sharp pain, any searing or burning in your knees, hit the exit button. And also gently draw your navel in towards your spine and the pit of the abdomen, all that musculature below your belly button, between your navel and your pubic bone. Gently, like, kind of corset that up a little bit so there's no over exaggeration of the curve in your lumbar spine. Good. Can you pull your outer left hip away from your shoulder? Just a little bit. Yeah, I thought so. Good. Well, let's take 2 more breaths, please. And when you're ready, you'll release your foot slowly, if you've got it. Sweep your left arm up and over. Ooh. Great. Let's come onto your back one more time. Just once again to reorganize. Get everything back to symmetry. Tune in, check in, drop in. Okay, great. Find your way into child's pose, please, Balasana. Good. You can take your knees a little wide if you like, allowing your belly to be soft. If you want to put a blanket underneath your hips, if that helps to support your knees, make this shape work for you. For the first couple of breaths, just want you to pull your breath into your lower back, your low and your mid back. So your arms can be anywhere that's comfortable for you. And emphasize the expansion of your ribs, your low ribs. Imagine broadening through your lower back and your sacrum as you inhale. And softening through the front line of your body as you exhale. We'll bring some action into this balasana now. Stretch your arms forward if they're not. Come up onto your fingertips. Good. And as you breathe in, inch your fingertips forward just another millimeter. And as you breathe out, keep your fingertips where they are, like there's little suction cups attached to them, and really sink your hips into your heels. And let's do that another time. Maybe another fraction of a millimeter, taking your fingertips forward as you inhale, pulling your sternum up towards your knees, and then dropping deeply, hips to heels as you exhale. Terrific. Walk your hands and arms over to the left, please. Let's get a little side stretch. Press your left fingertips into the floor so you give yourself a nudge to the right. Good. Come back to center, please. And lift up onto your hands and your knees. Before we do the other side, we're going to take our right arm between the left hand and the left knee, coming in to thread the needle. Oh. Mm. Good. Return to your hands and your knees, and drop into child's pose once again. Arms active, more of a dynamic kid, more of an active child. And then walk your hands over to the right, please. Pressing your right fingertips into the floor to give yourself a nudge, a lean into the left. And bring your body back to center. Up onto your hands and your knees, please. And we'll thread our needle the other way, taking our left arm onto the floor between right hand, right knee. Oh. Pressing your right hand into the floor, unthread, returning to hands and knees. And breathing in, you'll arch your lower back, middle back, upper back, looking forward. Sink your hips to your heels as you exhale into balasana, child's pose. Tuck your toes under. So when you pull your next breath in, you can come forward to staff pose. Shoulders over wrists. And exhaling, draw your hips up into downward facing dog. Then we'll repeat that flow twice more, please. Inhaling, hands and knees, arching your back, looking forward. It's the witching hour. It's time to move. Exhaling, hips to heels, balasana. Tuck your toes and then bring yourself forward to staff pose, Adho Mukha Dandasana, downward facing staff. And then taking your hips high, your head and heels low, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good, and one more time, please, on your own. Nice, good. Great, looks great, everybody. Awesome. And when you come into this final downward dog after 3 times of that little flow, I'm going to have you come up onto the balls of your feet and then spin your heels over to the left. Once you get your heels to the left, I want you to plant your right foot, really hug the sticky mat with your right foot, but you can allow your left knee to bend and your left leg to be rather loose. The emphasis here is hiking your outer right hip up away from your right shoulder. Another big side stretch, a little bit of a twist happening here. And then we'll pivot our heels over to the left. Take your time. Finding the 4 corners of your left foot all the way down onto your sticky mat, and then allowing your right knee to bend and just kind of be loosey-goosey. And then reach your outer left hip up. Go up, 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 up. Good. Back to neutral, please. Back to dog pose. Hip square. You can march your heels, soft knees, one at a time, bending a little deeper. Walking your dog. And then slide your block up towards the top of your sticky mat if it's not already there. And I want you to visualize your pathway of bringing your right foot forward to your right hand. So that might mean coming down to your knees and helping your right foot up there. It might just be sweeping it up there from downward dog. Once you get your right foot to the top of your sticky mat, I'm going to have you bring your back knee, left knee down. Bring your block underneath your left hand, please. Bring your right hand to your right knee. So you're going to roll your right shoulder back and begin to wrap your belly towards the inner right thigh. Wrap your ribs, your left ribs, towards the inner right thigh. Turn your sternum to the right. Yeah, great. Good. Good. Terrific. Good. Let yourself unwind, facing front and center once again, and then lift up off of your block. Bring your forearms out in front of you with your elbows bent. When you breathe in, you're going to sweep your right elbow back behind you, both arms still bent like a cactus. And when you breathe out, you'll bring your right forearm back to center to meet your left forearm. And let's do that a few more times, drawing your right shoulder blade towards your spine to initiate the movement of taking your right arm back and exhaling. Twice more, please. Good. We'll do that a total of 4 times. And on your 4th one, I'm going to have you hold there with your right arm back behind you. And then stretch your arms away from your trunk and reach your right arm back with a little more purpose than taking your left arm forward. Nice. And just as we did when we were on the floor doing a twist, bring your awareness into your low belly and your low back and kind of like tone that up a little bit, just a little bit of a hug. Good. Reach back through your right arm. Nice. And then you'll bend your elbows once more. Bring your right forearm to meet your left forearm. Good. Hands to the floor. Find your way back to downward dog. You can always drop into child's pose or just hang out on all fours. Good. Just a transitional move. Kind of let everything get back into right place. And then you'll identify, how am I going to get my left foot forward? And then make it so. Sweep your left foot up. Bring your block underneath your right hand and bring your right knee to the floor, please. And here we are, same drill, second side. We're going to build on this in our next sequence. Left hand to your left knee. You begin churning your belly to the left. Turn your right ribs to the left. And you're rolling your left ribs back. Yeah. Roll your left shoulder back. And gosh, what to do with the head? Well, personally, I like to look down to the block because I like that feeling of rolling my left shoulder back and then taking my head in the other direction. Feels good on my scalenes. But if you'd like to turn your head and look just out to the left, but I would avoid turning your head up. That's a little intense. Good. Unravel your spine, come back to center, bring your forearms out in front of you, find your balance. And then here we go, 4 times. Inhale, start with your left shoulder, pull your left shoulder blade towards your spine and let that initiate the movement of opening your arms, and exhale, close. Good. Thrice more, please. Good. And then you know what to do. When you get to number 4, you'll hold it there. Good. Stretch your arms. And reach back, a little more emphasis reaching back through your left arm. But notice if you're kind of hanging out in your lower back. Good. You know what to do. Nice. Wonderful. Good. Bend your elbows, please. And then sweep your left forearm up to meet your right forearm. Ah, good. Bring your fingertips to the floor. All right. Now listen, pick your back knee up and wait for it. Wait for it. I want you to step forward. Wah! Yeah, come up to the top of your sticky mat. Good. All right, here we go. We're ready to rock and roll now. Hook your thumbs, please. Sweep your arms up. As you stand up tall, release your arms. And as you exhale, twist to the right with wide open arms. And then inhale, you're going to bring your arms up overhead once more. Turn your chest to center. And when you exhale, open your arms and turn to the left. Yeah, good. Breathing in, arms up. And as you exhale, you're going to fold forward, bring your arms behind your back, clasp your fingers together. Take your knuckles to the ceiling. Wonderful. Release your fingertips to the floor, please. Look forward as you inhale. Try to pull your sternum a little closer beyond the top edge of your sticky mat. And as you exhale, you're going to bow forward, take your right foot back. Now we're going to build on what we just did. So you're welcome to come down to your right knee or keep your right knee lifted. I'm going to put the block underneath my right hand, not mandatory, but that's what I'm going to do. Bring your left hand to your left knee. Okay. Here's option A. And you're welcome to just hit the pause button right here. Option B is to take your left arm up. Good, big stretch, big wide open stretch, like your left fingertips are trying to burst through the soil, reaching to the sunlight. You like that metaphor? And now pull through your left arm if you wish. You can stay here or pull through your left arm and bring yourself up into a twisted version, like a twisted warrior. Yeah, good. Now what's happening with your belly? Firm up through your belly, please. Great. Fire up that back leg. Now listen, left fingertips to the back of your right thigh, right arm up. So with your left hand, I want you to invite the inseam of your right leg to spin up towards the ceiling. And notice how that brings your right hip forward just the tiniest bit. Good. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting through your right arm. Now we're going to come into a prayer twist. Remember, dropping to your right knee is always legal, always an option. Bring your right elbow to the outside of your right knee, or left knee rather, right elbow to the outside of your left knee. And here we are in standing prayer twist. Good. Turn your belly to the inside of your left thigh. Turn, turn, turn. Okay, now listen, this might be the most dynamic part of the class. I want you to look down to your left big toe and visualize it first. You're going to step your right foot forward next to your left foot into Parivrtta Utkatasana, revolved chair pose. You're welcome to make as many sound effects as you'd like. Once you get your right foot up there in revolved chair pose, sink your hips a little lower. Keep spinning, spinning, spinning to the left. Oh, goodness. Okay, unwind, come back to chair, or let's get to chair. We haven't been there yet. Let's get to chair pose. And then inhale, stand up slow and strong on both legs. Let your arms float down by your sides. Wow, how's that feel in your left buttock? Breathing in, sweep your arms forward and up. We're going to twist to the right on the exhale. We've done this before. Good, just previously. Now we're ready for side B. Breathing in, both arms come back up, facing front and center. And breathing out, twist to the left. Reaching left arm back, right arm forward. Yeah, good. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale. Fold forward, clasp your fingers together behind your back, maybe the other pinky on the outside this time. Bow the crown of your head towards the floor. Good, release your fingertips to the floor, big breath in, long spine. And then exhaling, bow forward, take your left foot back. So here we go, left side. Take your time and remember, you can come to your knee. All right, left foot back, block underneath your left fingertips, right hand to your right knee, roll your right shoulder back. Just start out giving your spine a little juice, a little WD-40. And then if your shoulder approves, take your right arm up. And when your right arm goes up, notice if your left hip drops down. Imagine that there's like a helium balloon underneath your left hip, the hip bone, the ASIS, lifting your left hip up slightly. Then maybe take your right hip back a little bit more, draw your right hip in. All right, now here we go. Door number 2, if you choose, reach up through your right arm, coming into twisted or revolved warrior. Fire up your back leg if you're choosing to keep your knee off the floor. I'm going to invite you to really power up your back leg. Right fingertips find your left thigh, your left arm floats up. And then invite the inseam of your left leg to gently spin up towards the ceiling. Firm up your belly just a little bit, and then you're going to come into prayer twist, standing prayer twist. Bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And you can bring both your palms together in Namaskar Mudra, or you can make a fist with your right hand and gently cup it into your left palm. Let's go one more breath, and then you know what's coming next. This is the dynamic part. It's all dynamic. Look down to the inside of your right big toe. Visualize your left foot landing there. And then one step if you can do it. Oh my gosh. Nicely done. Good. Now drop your hips a little tiny bit lower. Good. And spin your sternum to the right. Oh, wow. Great. Unravel your spine. Take your arms forward. Utkatasana, chair pose. Great, great. And then fold forward, fingertips to the floor, please. Ah, yowza, take your right foot back. Spin your right heel down. Bring your block to the inside of your left foot. I'm going to put mine on its second height. You can go second or tallest or wherever it suits you. Left fingertips to your block. Just bring your right hand to your right waist. So we're going to come into Parsva Konasana, but we're going to ease our way into it because this is actually an open twist. I mean, it typically falls into the side bend part or the side bend category. I think because of its name, side angle, but I want you to start with your hand to your waist. Just really start identifying this turning of your belly to the right. Turn your sternum to the right. Bring your awareness to your left ribs and roll your left ribs to the right. Good. And then see if that doesn't bring your right shoulder back a little bit more. And now, if you'd like, you can take your right arm up. No harm, no foul if you want to keep your hand to your waist. Yep. And then if you'd like, you can turn your right palm to the front of the room and sweep your right arm over your right ear. Root down through your right foot for me, please. And keep turning your belly to the right. Make this into a twisting pose. Excellent. Good. Sweep your right fingertips to the floor, please. And bring your right knee down. We're going to come into pigeon pose. I want you to walk your left foot over to your right hand and then bring your left knee down. Now, again, I don't know that we've been here in an online class, really, honestly, ever, maybe in the last 2 years. So I'm going to trust that you're listening to your hips, your low back, and your knees when we go into this. So here you are, pigeon pose, right? So we're just going to start out one forearm down on the floor at a time. And if this is like excruciating, the flexion in the knee is inappropriate, or the ankle, or your ankle hurts, or I mean, if anything about this shape is not working for you, then reclining pigeon on your back. So you can roll onto your back, or you can stay in a low lunge. So we're going to take it, we're going to do a couple of things in pigeon. You can bring your forehead down and stack your hands underneath your forehead. Then I'm going to give you another opportunity to experiment. You take your left arm forward. So there's some space between the floor and your left arm. And you're going to slide your right arm underneath your left arm, just like threading the needle. Yeah, how about that? There's an option. Then you can keep your left arm active, left fingertips to the floor out beyond your head, left arm elevated away from the floor, and pull your left hip, your outer left hip in particular, pull it away from your left shoulder. We're going to stay here for a couple more breaths. And if you want to get spicy, you can bring your left arm behind your back and wrap it around there and maybe grab your left big toe. Definitely not a mandatory part of the sequence, which is something to play with if you'd like. If you've got your left arm behind your back, I'm going to ask you to bring your left hand back to the floor, and everybody else Left hand to the floor as well, and slowly unthread your right arm. Good. Keep your left fingertips to the floor and then kick your right heel up behind you. So you can reach back with your right hand and grab the instep of your foot or your ankle if you like. This is one opportunity to kind of lengthen and open up our psoas and our hip flexors. But again, all fingertips can stay to the floor. And this is actually a really nice way to wake up the psoas. So you choose. We're just going to stay for 2 more breaths. Nice. Fingertips to the floor, please. And very gently make your way into downward facing dog. Excuse me. Ooh-wee. Come forward to staff with your feet separated at least 6 inches apart, and spin your heels over to the left. I want you to keep both hands to the floor. Good, and then spin your heels over to the right. Come back to the balls of your feet, downward facing dog, please. We're going to do that same sequence on the left side here in just a moment, and then we'll come into a back bending sequence. Begin to walk your feet forward to your hands. We're going to do the B side. And from there, sink into your hips, drop into your heels, find Utkatasana, chair pose. Good. Great. And then forward fold as you exhale, Uttanasana. Good. And step your left foot back. Parishvakonasana comes first. This is it for the standing sequence, and then we're going to hit the mat. So set the block to the inside of your right foot. And I kind of, classically your arm would be to the outside, but I like the inside because it encourages more of a twist through the belly. Good. Left hand to your left hip, please. Good. Fire up your left leg, hugging the sticky mat with your left foot. Good. Fire up the inseam of your left leg, and then bring your awareness to your right sit bone and maybe sink it a little lower to your mat and give it a little nudge forward, like a 1/4 of an inch forward. Great. And then if you want to take your left arm up, take your left arm up. If you want to take your left arm over your left ear, take your left arm over your left ear. And then turn your belly to the left. Wrap your liver around to the left. Gallbladder, if you still have one. Good. Turn your left lung up towards your sternum and take your sternum to the ceiling. Good. Nicely done. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Whew, okay, hands to the floor, please. We got to get into pigeon pose from here. So bring your back knee down. Walk your right foot over to your left hand. Good. Take your time. Listen closely to your knees, to your low back, to your ankles and hips. Good. And then we'll gently descend. Bring your forehead. You can rest your forehead on a block to keep your cervical spine in the same plane as the rest of your vertebral column, or you can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. Good. And then those of you that kind of want to switch things up a little bit, walk your right arm forward. Thread your left arm underneath your right arm, coming down onto your left shoulder. Yeah. Good. And resting on the left side of your head. If you want to wrap your top arm around behind you, it's totally up to you. We're almost there, yogis. Okay. Bring your right hand back to the floor, please. Good. And then slowly lift yourself up. Take your time. Good. Nice big extension through the spine. Fingertips can be to the floor or hands to the floor. Good. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. So if you care to, you can kick your left foot up behind you and reach back with your left hand. And if that's where you're going to go, I'm going to encourage you to then turn your chest back to center. Yeah, and let this action open your left shoulder, your pecs. Good, great, great. Nicely done, everyone. Good. And then fingertips to the floor, please. Oh, find your way to downward dog. Oh. Good. Come forward to staff. And then on or off your knees, bring your body all the way down to the mat, prone position. Keep your forehead to the floor, please, and just lift your feet, your knees, and your legs, coming into like a half locust pose. Keep your legs straight. Good. And if you want, you can even bring one of your hands to your lower back and kind of feel around your low back and your glutes and your hamstrings and just feel your body just fire up. Feel your muscles working for you. Good. Lift, lift, lift. And then feet down. Very nice. Good. Now take your fingertips out to the floor, please, with your elbows bent. So you're kind of like a gecko, elbows up. And then keep your feet to the floor and just lift your forehead, chin, and chest up off the floor. Good. Great. Pelvis down, legs down. Very nice. And slowly come down. Good. One more back bend to go. Bring your arms down by your sides for Shalabhasana. And when you're ready, inhale and lift as much of your body off the floor as you like. And either stay here in Shalabhasana, locust pose, or bend your knees, reach your hands towards your feet or your ankles, coming into bow pose. And let's go 4 breaths. Everybody just take it where you want to take it. Kick up, kick back if you've got your feet. Good. Kick up, kick back. Still churning the soil, turning the soil. And now beginning to sprout. Good. 2 more breaths. Wow, very nice. Wow. Well done. Well done. Well done. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders and lift yourself up onto your hands and your knees. Set your block behind you on its lowest or its second height for Virasana. Take the muscles of your calves, your gastrocs and soleus, and while they're kind of loosey-goosey like this, pull them out to the sides. Make a little more space for you to drop your tush onto your block. Coming into Virasana. Sweep your right arm up, please. Take your left arm down by your side. Bend both elbows. Maybe your fingertips will meet somewhere in your mid-back. Maybe the better idea is just to take your left hand to your right elbow. Couple of choices for you. You can always grab your shirt if you'd like, or ponytail if you've got one. Gomukhasana arms, cow face arms. Very nice. Release out of the pose. Pick your right knee up and set your right foot to the floor. So now we're in half virasana. I'm going to bring your right arm to the inside of your right knee and left fingertips to the floor behind you. If the floor feels far away, it kind of does for me. I'm going to bring my fingertips, my left fingertips, to the edge of my block. So here we are in another open twist. Spine is long on the inhale, turning to the left on the exhale. And I want you to have a little push-pull action with your right arm, a little conversation between your right arm and your right knee. Push your knee into your arm and at the same time push back a little. Let's have a little discussion there. And turn your head and look out over to the top of your sticky mat. Good, very nice. Unwind your spine, bring your right shin to the floor once more. If virasana is excruciating for your knees or your ankles, just come into a seated cross-legged pose, please. And we'll do cow face on the other side. So left arm up, right arm down, and then you bend your elbows. Now it might be wiser to just bring your right hand to your left elbow and find that sweet stretch along your left triceps. Otherwise, you can find your fingertips together at your mid-back if your body agrees with that position. Release your hands, release your elbow, and then you'll pick up your left foot, set it to the floor. Take your left arm to the inside of your left knee. Begin to wrap your right arm behind you, maybe fingertips to the floor or fingertips to your block. Good. Look out beyond the top of your sticky mat. And again, invite this little conversation between your left knee and your left arm, a little push-pull. Open your belly to the right. Turning your intestines to the right, liver, stomach, all the organs. Shifting. Excellent. Unravel, unwind. Pick your right knee up and set your right foot to the floor. And then bring your hands behind you. The fingers can point in towards your block or they can go out to the sides, whatever's comfortable on your wrist. And as you're ready, you'll lift up into reverse tabletop. All that's been churning and tilling, now opening up towards the sky. Lifting up out of the earth element. Let's go one more breath. Lift a little higher through your pelvis and your sternum. And then slowly, 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 hips down. You can slide that block out from underneath you, come all the way down onto the floor and roll onto your back, please. Ooh, wow. Good. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a tight squeeze. In fact, even ball up a little bit, like a roly-poly bug. Bring your forehead towards your knees. Good, really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Yeah, squeeze the soil. Great. One last breath. Really hug in there, hug tight. Ball up, make yourself even smaller, like a little seed. Great, and then release. Bring your feet to the floor. It's time to set up for Shavasana. Good. Anything goes. Y'all, if you want to swing your legs over the seat of a chair, or if you've got bolsters around, you want to take your legs up the wall. Grab your socks, your sweatshirts, your dogs and cats. Get cozy. Land into your breath. Once you feel stable on the floor, all the parts and pieces of you that are in touch with the floor, feeling secure and supported, then land into your breath, please. And you're simply going to count, breathing in, breathing out. That's 1. Breathing in, breathing out. That's 2. Count your breaths up to 4, and then simply turn around and begin again at 1. And at some point between 1 and 4, for me, it usually happens around 1.5. I notice that my mind is off to the races. It's been catapulted into the future, making plans or rehearsing a conversation that may or may not ever take place. Or something's dragging it into the past. Maybe reliving a moment where I've really felt great, or a moment of great regret. And when that shows up for me, if it shows up for you, I want you to just imagine that you're tapping that thought with your fingertip to a bubble. And just say thinking, because that's all it is. And then come back to breath number 1.